Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the DwnFwdPUNCHcast, episode 5. I'm your host, Jason. To my right is my good friend, David.
Your alcoholic friend.
And to my left is my brother, Christopher. We are DwnFwdPUNCH, and before we get started, I just wanted to kind of announce that we're going to switch formats a little bit here. Traditionally, we have talked about what we've been playing in the beginning of the show. I think I'm going to move that towards the end, so we'll talk about that in closing. And we're going to split this show up on the YouTube channel a bit, so if you are listening to the audio stream, things will go relatively unchanged. If you're watching this on YouTube, the segments will now be their own independent videos. Kind of makes it a little bit easier to digest on a YouTube video than to sit there and watch a whole hour at a time. So yes, getting right into the news here. The big topic is the Nintendo Switch. We have just gone through the launch. It's been a few days now. And what are you guys hearing? I'll start with you, Christopher, since you have the least exposure to the Switch. What have you heard about the launch, and how do you think Nintendo is doing?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm probably the furthest away from what's going on with the Switch right now, but I have heard that apparently this is like the best Nintendo launch ever, I think. The first 2 days have been like the most successful of all their console launches, which I think is very impressive, but I also do think it's kind of surprising because, I mean, I remember the Wii was like, you know, an insane launch that I feel like lasted forever. And
and you're right. I think I was reading just today or the other day the numbers, and as of right now, Reggie Filsaime had an interview with, I think it was either the New York Times or New York Post, and he said that this is officially Nintendo's most successful console launch, even outpacing the Wii in Japan, which was quite a feat because the Wii sold like gangbusters in Japan. So they have. For a minute there, it was questionable on whether or not they were going to be able to pass the Wii in Japan. And as of the last reporting, they had just finally did it within this 48-hour mark. So they coming out the gate strong. What do you think, David? What have you heard?
Well, I think Nintendo is becoming known as like the innovator, right? Like they innovate instead of just making the same thing. So you are now finally seeing, like the Wii U, it was innovative in a sense, but it was marketed so poorly. And that is an easy way to get people not to understand what the heck they're looking at or what they're buying. And so that's why the system really failed in about 4 years, right? Yeah. So now the Switch is like it's a very simple concept. It's play it on your TV, take it on the go with you. It's gaming anywhere, anytime, right? That's a simple concept that you can convey to your basis, right? Yeah. And I think that's something that gets people that maybe stop like buying Nintendo stuff, or like stop looking at them as a serious company, being like, okay, you know what? Like I've had a PS Vita, or I've had a 3DS, or I love my mobile phone, and like it would be really cool to have like a console, like, you know, with me. I can take that anywhere. Like you can like saying I can play like my console games anywhere. How cool is that? So that's what got me on board immediately. That and Zelda, but you know,
yeah. Which is incredible, by the way. Incredible.
God, let me just talk about it forever.
I know.
That's all I've been doing for the last
Well, if you're going to do that, I need to... I can't be around, because I do want to play Breath of the Wild very, very badly. But I can't play it yet. Cause
it'll change your life, I promise you.
I've had quite a life, so that's a bold statement.
There are some bold claims out there saying that is the best game in the last decade. That is a huge claim.
That is a huge claim.
And to be honest...
That is a huge claim.
I'm starting to agree with it.
Really?
Not as a fanboy, but as somebody who has become surprised. It's at what I'm expecting. I'm sorry, what I got out of this game so far. But anyway,
we can probably go down the Zelda road forever. So let's refrain from doing so, and we'll save that for another time.
Fair.
Obviously, there's a lot of people that haven't played it yet, haven't played much. I mean, I'm only like 5-6 hours into it now. So let's save it, prevent any spoilers from happening. But going back to the actual Switch launch, it seems like they're doing well as far as sales go. They're obviously doing that fake, out of stock thing where they're controlling the quantities. Demand. Yeah, building demand.
Right.
Which I don't know if that. I mean, I'm sure that they decided this is the right approach for whatever reason. I can't understand why. If you have people that want to buy it, sell it to them.
Well, we talked about this mentality before. We don't understand why a company would fabricate a potential drought of something when it feels like, at least without some sort of comment, right? Like some sort of PR statement saying like, listen, this hardware is very expensive, or it's very hard to manufacture. It takes X amount of time, just to give the public some sort of idea. Because unfortunately, the world we live in, I think, where the less we know, the angrier we become, right? Because we feel like we deserve information in a sense, because considering the amount of information we get on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I feel that way. I mean, I understand the system to some degree, but I still feel angry when they don't provide me with information that I feel is very easy to just say, like, here it is. This is what's happening.
Even like with the Nintendo Classic, I mean, or the NES Classic, everybody's looking for that thing, and they refuse to build in quantities, and now it's discontinued. And
Supposedly.
And why? Why? I mean, sell it to people. They want to buy it, give it to them. You're making money.
Because the SNES Classic is coming out, right? That's the other rumor.
And then they're going to end up doing the same thing.
Of course they will.
Where they're going to sell like 14 of these things, and then they're going to disappear into the ether forever.
Right. Why not? When did I understand things that maybe don't sell normally, like, well, like, say, like, you release, like, Titanfall, right? Titanfall was a game that, it was fun and people liked it, but it fell apart pretty quickly. And then they were like, well, if we release it, let's release it in, like, November, right? Like, that's when everyone just buys anything. They don't even care. They buy blindly. So when you have something that I think, you know, as a company who's been around for roughly 35 years or so, like Nintendo, in the game market, right? Don't you think they know the trends already at this point? Like, you would think they'd understand that. So just release it like in May. Who cares? Like, just put it out there. And then at that point, you'll have plenty of time to get it out for Christmas.
I mean, to be fair, putting the Switch out in March is an interesting move.
Fiscal year issue. That's why they did that. You know that.
Yeah, but like, it's still a weird choice as far as console timing goes.
Well, like, for example, like South Park was delayed by Ubisoft because they're trying to make it to their next fiscal year. They do things like this all the time.
Yeah.
But like this March launch was a great idea. It's like, it's still winter, right? Kind of. And now with summer coming up, like, I'll be able to take my system outside with me and play it. Like, I feel like this was the perfect time.
I mean, I'm glad they did because I didn't want to wait for it anymore. But
No, me too.
but I mean, the system has not been without its. The system launch has not been without its flaws, and maybe if they would have waited, they could have prevented some of them. Because I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's been a lot of problems that people are having with these things straight out the box.
Yeah.
I know dead pixels have been an issue. People are opening them up and they have dead pixels right away. And the idea of that, you're buying a $300 piece of hardware and it immediately has dead pixels. That is unacceptable in my mind.
Can we make a cover band called Dead Pixels?
Let's do
that
it.
plays like 8-bit chiptunes?
Yeah.
Or something. We'll just call ourselves the Dead Pixels. Dude, that'd be the best.
We'll like remix Castlevania music.
We have to coin that quickly.
It's probably already somebody's
Probably,
done it.
honestly. I don't think the Switch is the first system to have this issue with dead pixels or whatever, but it does seem to be a bigger story and a bigger issue when Nintendo comes out and they're just like, oh, by the way, like, dead pixels happen, and if you see it on your system, like...
Yeah, that's ridiculous too. If you're a company like Nintendo that has struggled in the market for as long as they have, I mean, it's been, you know, how many years now? 5-6 years since they were really like selling all their systems really hot. I mean, the Wii started to taper off and the Wii U did terribly. Yeah. You would think that you would baby your audience a little bit or handhold them just a bit to make sure that they're happy with their purchase, everything's fine. But I don't know. If I bought a television from a box store and it had dead pixels, I would return it immediately.
Absolutely.
That seems like it's unacceptable.
Well, you know, and I like one of the things in terms of like with the drought of systems, right? Like, here's one of the biggest issues is that, you know, if Nintendo won't take care of you, right? Well, then your next step is gonna be like, well, I'll go to the store I bought it from. Well, good luck getting a replacement system on a system that isn't even in stores right now, and probably it's going to be. Again, we could be proven completely wrong, and I really hope that I am. I don't want to see another NES Mini on my hands again, where it's like weeks without them in stores, right? But what happens if you go back and they're just like, well, if Nintendo doesn't honor it, we don't honor it, or if we do honor it, say like with an extended warranty, we don't have any systems to give to you, so you're just gonna have to wait until we get one.
Yeah, that would be tough. I mean, especially with...
But with like TVs are a dime a dozen. Nobody runs out to go buy the next TV or like wait in line for a TV unless it's Black Friday, right?
That's all people do.
To replace a TV is a very simple process, right? But like it's like TVs, they just fade into a group of televisions, right? Whereas like a system is like an individual, unique item that is very hard to keep in stock because everyone needs that in order to essentially play all the other stuff that exists for it. Whereas the TV is like you plug it in and you connect it to your cable, and now you have millions of channels and do all this other stuff. You don't need to buy anything extra with it.
In addition to the dead pixels, though, people were complaining about scratching of the system just by putting it in the dock.
I looked at it wrong and it scratched. I literally went like this. I was like,
You called it a dirty name. It just
yeah, and I did. I was like, damn you! And it was like, I'm like, oh my god, it knew, and it scratched itself. it's what do they call it? It's sentient. I think that's what it is. Yeah. My Switch is sentient. It knows.
So I mean, that's unfortunate though, because you want to be able to use the system the way it's designed, and the whole thing is built off the idea of popping in the dock, taking it to go. And if putting it in the dock is going to break it, it seems like they could have very easily come up with a design that maybe has like, a felt interior or something. Just this way, it's soft enough that you don't have to worry about breaking this thing just for doing what you're supposed to be doing with it.
Yeah, there's an infinite amount of ways they could have designed the dock differently. I saw somebody online take one apart, and the thing is just like a plastic shell. There's nothing on the inside of it. It's completely hollow, except for basically the size of like a USB drive. There's a piece of electronics in there that's this big, and that's it. And then the rest is just like a plastic
just a
case.
piece of plastic.
By the way, how much are they selling the dock alone for?
$90.
Okay.
There's an actual price on it? I figured it was like the Wii U tablet where you couldn't buy one.
They had a price before launch. It was saying $90. I haven't seen them for sale.
Oh, you are right. I remember
seeing it. But it was $90.
Yeah.
That's insane, considering it's a hunk of plastic with like this little thing.
Yep.
Come on now.
That's completely silly.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with like the water bottle challenge, right? Where you drink like a water bottle halfway up and then you throw it, try to land on its top?
Yeah.
What if we do like a thing where we try to throw our Switches into the dock?
Yeah.
And see if we can get them to land inside the dock, maybe?
I'll do it with your Switch.
I'll do it with your Switch, actually.
I have
a better
Switch.
idea. What if we do it with his Switch?
I'm still okay with that.
I'm gonna hard pass on all of
Okay,
this.
well,
Get a screen protector, you won't have a problem.
It's true. I am going to have to buy a screen protector, which I've never done. I've never bought a screen protector for a phone, for a system, nothing, because
oddly.
they're stupid. But now I feel like I have to, just to make sure that my investment isn't damaged.
Right, because it's really shiny and stupid. And why do they pick shiny things? I have no idea. I hate shiny things.
Yeah.
They scratch and they get ruined, and all it is just an excuse to rebuild the system design and be like, here it is again. Buy it, and I know I will. I'll do it. I'll totally be in. I'll be like, oh, there's new colors.
You're very much
now
that
there's
guy.
a matte finish. I'll buy this. Whatever. Thank you. It's just my old one. Let me get a new one. Oh, money. It's like I just need to make some so I can buy the next Switch that comes out that doesn't have a crappy docking bay or like a shiny screen or something.
I mean, do you think part of this is, like going back to this the screen thing? Do you think part of this is Nintendo purposely not doing it in a way, this way if it gets damaged, or because the risk is there to get damaged, that now they can sell you the screen protector? Do they sell the screen protector, or is it only third parties?
Oh no, it's completely third party.
There's not a Nintendo branded
No.
screen protector?
No,
Okay,
in
well
fact,
there goes that
if you're
theory.
going to get one, get a Hori brand, Hori, best company that makes the best products for all Nintendo systems. They're
David
phenomenal.
has a huge crush on Hori.
Big time.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I probably have bought something from them.
You could
but
say
I
I'm
can't.
a,
I just ordered
I'm
one.
a whore for Hori.
Okay.
But I bought their car charger today. I'm very excited to use it. And I've bought all their screen protectors in the past. They're good quality.
You bought screen protectors for systems you don't even have.
Right, I do.
You just
I actually
buy the
collect
Hori
them.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should see, like, I got my amiibos on one shelf, and then I have, like, my other little figurines, and then I have, a shelf just full of screen protectors still in the box. And I'll never, because they're valuable. If you don't open those, they'll go for real
New in
money
box.
later on.
New
Yeah.
box.
Well-
Screen protectors.
Hori, if you happen to stumble upon this video at all, we're not currently sponsored by you, but if you're interested, we could talk. Not a problem.
David will talk you right into the sheets if he can.
Yeah.
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 That's what he sounds like he's trying to do.
But anyways, going back to the launch.
Smooth operator.
With Nintendo having such a strong showing out the gate, is it smooth sailing from here? I mean, do you think is it safe to say that maybe they're not going to have the same problems that they had with the Wii U? Can they actually do well in this console cycle?
I think that they can, but I certainly don't think we're in a position right now to say that like that's going to happen. They've got a strong start going right now, but they've got one game that's really working for them, which is Zelda, and apparently like it's really super great, and that's
I heard
excellent.
it was Just Dance. I heard that was the system seller.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. That's the only.
Did your contact at Hori tell you that?
No, we haven't made contact yet, but we will. Don't you worry.
Okay, yeah, I believe you.
And I'll make sure I use protection when I talk to them too.
Screen protection.
Screen protection.
But anyway, they've got
Ding!
Zelda. Zelda's great, but
Yeah.
all their other titles look very lackluster. And
Yep.
I mean that's typical for a console launch, but yeah, I'm just saying like they're not out of the woods yet. If they're gonna make this happen, they're gonna have to put in some effort of putting out some good games.
Oh yeah.
What do you think, David?
I'm not in the business of speculation, so I don't like your question. I'm pretty sure that this thing is going to do really well. I don't know.
You are absolutely in the business of speculation,
I
by the
know I
way.
am. We have to, right? This is what you do. This is what drives conversation. You're a week in. I feel like, from personal experience, right? And I know this isn't like nationwide or worldwide, right? But I feel like there's a lot of people that I know that have bought into this thing that were the people that I feel like a year ago were like, Nintendo's stupid. They make kids games. Like, every game has easy mode. And it's like, all right, you're never going to be a Nintendo person ever again. Like, I can't ever ask you to play Mario Kart. That's just not your thing. You'd rather shoot things or whatever. And I'm like, this is going to... Apparently, I'm never going to have any friends that play Nintendo systems. My friends list is filled up on my Switch. Like, not completely filled, obviously, but I've gotten like 10 in the last week of people that I never thought would buy this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm so thrilled about it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have friends. And you know the best part? When you go and you find your friends and you go to click on one and be like, oh, I wonder what they're up to or what they've been playing. And then I wonder what options, like maybe I can chat with them, right? No, the only option is remove them.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
so you can remove your friends, but you can't do anything else with them. So
That's fantastic.
But you can make them best friends.
Oh.
Maybe I'll make you my best friend.
I'd appreciate
You'll
that.
have a little star next to your name, and it'll make sure that I know that you're my
Do I have
best
to
friend.
confirm? Like, if you make me your best friend, do I have to confirm that we're best friends?
It's
in order for
not
that to work?
mutual, by the way. So, in other words, I can do it, but you don't have to do it back. But if I ever find out that you didn't do it back, I will be heartbroken.
The body was never found.
Yeah, so I think the potential is there. A strong showing is a good sign. They have to stay on their A game in order, I think, to make this work. And I want them to make it work. I really do. I really want to see Nintendo get back to that high point that they were at all those years ago. I want to keep the Zeldas and the Marios and the Metroids and all those coming.
You said Metroid.
Yeah,
the
not
game
that
that'll
I-
never happen ever again.
Unfortunately, probably not.
happening. Eventually, right?
Well, they made one for 3DS. It
Yeah,
was called
yeah,
Metroid
Federation
Federation
Force.
Force, and it's the worst. I don't think it sold more than 10,000 copies.
Anything
From-
And
From what I understand, Metroid is the franchise that everybody asks for and nobody buys.
That's
never-
probably true.
It never
Yeah,
sells
I'm-
well.
I
Yeah.
don't- I
Well, you
don't
got to remember, a
agree
lot
with
of these
that.
people are probably like, "Oh, I love Nintendo," and they probably don't own the newest one, right? And so then when a Metroid comes out, like the game sells like garbage because no one's buying it, right? So I don't know. I have a feeling that might be an issue.
I loved Metroid Prime. I thought it was
Oh.
great.
Good lord, Metroid Prime 3 is like the best game, especially with those Wii controls, dude. Well, so real quick, not to get too far off, but I have a question. If you've noticed this, so in Metroid Prime, you could move your hand as the gun, and it was the only game that felt good doing it. Like Red Steel had the concept of it as well.
I think wasn't Metroid Prime on the GameCube?
Well, it was, but Metroid Prime 3 Corruption was on the Wii, and it was
I
the
didn't
first
know
one
that.
to use the Wii remote as a gun, right? So, like, you could literally move your hand like this, and, like, your gun followed you. So, like, if you wanted to headshot something, it was like, it was like what we've always thought VR would be like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then, now, fast forward now to the Switch, okay? I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but the Wii had limitations where you had to be within the confines of your television. So if you went this way,
So the bar
or
could
this
read you,
way,
yeah.
you couldn't. It wouldn't do anything. It would just stop working, right? The Switch has a 360-degree, like, virtual space that's created, okay? Now, granted, the game most likely has to be programmed for this, but I'll give you an example. I'm playing Zelda, and I pull up my bow. And I'm like, I want to shoot something. Well, the cool thing is that the system has a motion control, in a sense, right? Like gyrometer, whatever it's called. And so I look up with my Switch tablet, and Link looks up. I look down, Link looks down. I turn this way, and then I keep going, and I keep turning around. I literally turn around 360 degrees, and Link turns around in 360 degrees as well. And I'm looking at everything around me, and there's no sensor bar. There's no limitations. I feel like I could, not beyond moving forward, backward, left, and right, I can do anything I want in that 3D space, and it functions, and it's so
Yeah.
cool, because I've never experienced that before. And this is only just like a revelation I had, like, I don't know, 4 days after I bought it. I'm like, wow.
You know what revelation I had playing Zelda? You could take a selfie.
You can.
You could take a selfie with Link.
We have to talk about how scary that is, by the way. And I'll tell you what I mean by that later.
Yeah, he's got that, like, lost in, like, where am I kind of look. Where, like, and then it registers.
It's more like this.
Okay.
It's more like this. Just pretend you're talking for a second, right? You're talking about selfies. Go ahead.
So we're talking about selfies.
Selfies.
Now,
Oh,
Did you hit the wrong button? Yeah, because that's what happens. Every time you're like, oh, I want to hit B to get out of this, because B has always been canceled universally since we've been playing video games forever. And B in this game turns it into selfie mode.
Nintendo also likes
You're
to...
looking like this, and then like literally the camera just turns on. He's just like, you're like, oh, I'm looking. I should have looked at the camera anyway.
Nintendo also likes to has done this thing ever since I think the GameCube, where they swap where the A and the B is on the controller.
Yes.
And I still can't get used to it because I'm so used to like A being my primary button and then B being, you know, diagonally to the right.
It should be
from
A,
it.
B, and then
but it's the other way
X,
around.
Y.
So I always
but
hit the
instead
wrong
of
way.
it's Y, X, and then B, A.
Yeah, got to be different.
GameCube was interesting with the big A, boom, right in the middle. Little B over to the right. And then you had X and Y were like these little auxiliary buttons. That was cool.
I love
Well,
the
you
GameCube
notice
controller.
that on the Switch controls on the left joystick, instead of having a D-pad, it has separated buttons, like exactly like the C buttons on the GameCube controller. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
On the N64 controller. GameCube had a C stick.
Oh, you're correct. Yeah, it did have the C-stick. You're right. N64, it had the separated buttons, but
yeah.
it still had a D-pad. But
Yes.
like whereas the left and right Joy-Con have just 4 sets of buttons.
Right.
And one functions as a D-pad, and it works really well. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
it's
like
okay.
it. Well, when I'm typing and stuff with it, I'm just like,
I've not
I'm all
typed
over
with
the
it,
place.
so
But the Pro controller has a D-pad and motion and Amiibo support.
And HD sound, HD rumble.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's the Pro controller. I had my doubts. Amazing. It's like a Nintendo Xbox controller. It's incredible. My God.
I just can't justify the price for it.
Well, you should because it's amazing. I bought two of them and it was.
I've been
worth
perfectly happy using the Joy-Cons, at least for Zelda so far. So
Well, I mean, eventually.
until I
you
have
buy
a
more
reason to
games.
get something else, like until I have a reason where I'm like, I can't play this like
Well,
this.
when you lose at Mario Kart, you're going to be like, I probably have to get a Pro controller now.
Until I just use the whole Switch like this.
You'd be like, I need to get a steering wheel, and then it's just like a plastic thing that you put the Joy-Cons in.
No, you put the whole
you put
Switch
the
in
whole
it.
Switch
in
And
it.
as you're doing it, everybody is going upside down and left and right and everything else.
Oh, and you can drive your car by turning like 360 degrees,
We're
right?
going reverse.
Yeah, totally,
All
right? You just
That's
turn your
great.
whole body.
Yeah.
God, Switch is amazing.
All right, so that's the Switch launch. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get into some Nintendo Scorpio news, because they're taking shots at
Did you
PlayStation.
just say Nintendo Scorpio?
I did. We're going to take a shot.
No!
We're going to talk about Microsoft
Wait a minute.
Xbox Scorpio.
There's a new Nintendo coming out already?
Oh, my God.
Oh
The Switch
my
is
God.
already dead.
We'll see in a bit.